Hi, I'm Bowling Otter.
And I'm Lucy Sandwich.
And welcome to
The BS on the Internet.
Well, it's been another one of those weeks.
Oh my God.
And
Has it been?
speaking of it, having it been another one of those weeks.
Hmm.
You guys have asked for t-shirts for this a while, so here you go.
What? No, that's it? That's the big reveal? Oh my God.
We have new t-shirts.
We have new t-shirts.
We have new t-shirts.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited. It's been
Yes.
like a long time coming.
Yep.
Moi made them.
Yes,
Moi
Lucy designed them.
And thank you to those of you who came to that stream that I did where you were giving me some ideas on some of the things that you wanted to see on these shirts. At least the it's been another one of those weeks shirts.
Yes.
Because, we gave it like a 90s thing, and I tried to make it look kind of like neon lights and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one we just thought was really cool. You had that idea. It was just like a little outline of our heads.
Yeah, just a couple silhouettes, like outlines.
Yeah.
Just kind of sitting there on your shirt.
Yeah, so
and
I cut us
that'll
out.
be a limited run.
Yes.
That one. So.
Yes. But we think we might like add some things to them and pop them in and out here and there. If you have any ideas, like maybe like a Christmas one or something.
With a
I don't
Santa
know.
hat or something.
Yeah, a little Santa. Yeah. Let us know if you have any ideas on what to do with these two little heads in there, because I'm all ears.
All ears. But anyway, today they're both available. Link is in the description from Near Mint merch if you want to go get
I'm so
yourself
excited.
one.
Yeah.
And we still have the two other designs up on the site as well,
Oh,
still
absolutely.
available. So
These are all quick.
there's merch.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, but that aside, it has been one of those weeks. This has been a very heavy week politically, a very crazy week on, social media and all that stuff. So we're just going to keep it kind of lightish and look at all of the stuff that really wasn't
Lightish.
covered this week.
Lightish.
Lightish,
There's some not so light stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
considering what was going on, everything
Yeah.
was like really heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there is some heavy stuff in here, but not as heavy as there has been. So let's
Sure.
get to it.
All right.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago we were talking about Telltale and how they abruptly closed, and it was so sad and everybody was really upset about it. But it turns out that one of their former employees has filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of his co-workers as well, saying that Telltale is in violation of the WARN Act right here. It's Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act, which became law in '88, stipulates that most businesses, I can't talk today, with at least 100 full-time workers must notify employees 60 days in advance of any plant closings or mass layoffs. The mass layoff is a reduction of 50 or more employees within a 30-day period if the total compromises at least 1/3 of the company's workforce. But California has an even stronger WARN Act as well, which took place in 2003. It's much more stringent. It lowered the company size threshold to 75 full or part-time workers and applied to any reduction of at least 50 employees. Both require 60 days.
Yeah, as opposed to the other one, which said lay off of 500. Or more.
Right,
So, yeah.
right. Because they must have a lot of like little startups going on. They want to protect these little startups that they have in San
certainly, yeah.
Francisco and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
it
get
seems like it's mostly geared towards larger companies, right?
Right,
like,
right.
That are laying off tons of workers because, like, then the obvious thing is if you have no warning, you go home, no paycheck, you're screwed, basically, right? Like you have to go just. Like you're just done. You're kicked out.
That's it.
And it doesn't give you any chance to look for other work. Your insurance might be cut off, and then you know what it's like trying to get back on insurance. If you're in between plans, and then I don't know. That's a whole different subject.
It would be horrific to have that happen. I can't even imagine. So the layoffs, they said the total layoffs at Telltale amounted to approximately 275 employees. And that included the layoffs that occurred September 21st, which they pegged at about 250 of that, because they said 25 people were left over. So that is clearly more than a third of their workforce. My headphones are not plugged in.
Yeah, it is. It's not a layoff of 500 or more workers.
Right,
but
it's more than a third.
Yes, but also as it says at the bottom here, because of that, they might be able to fight the lawsuit on the as far as the WARN Act goes.
I see that. Yeah.
There's some fine print there that might get them through with it, but not necessarily the California's version of it because it's more stringent.
Right.
So they're gonna have a problem here.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you're thinking like, oh man, it's game developers and they already lost their games and their company already went under and now they're getting sued.
Yeah.
And like they're just kicking them when they're down or whatever. But it's like, I mean. We talked about this last week. They clearly knew this was going to happen much more in advance.
Yeah.
Could have gave advance warning.
Yeah, how long
and
did they know?
They didn't find out that day, that's for sure. They didn't find out that day.
True?
So,
yeah.
I mean, like, you've got to, like, I don't know. You've got to get them paid. You got to get them severance.
I know.
Before you close everything else up.
Right.
Or at least you got to give them some warning.
Yeah.
So, and I remember last week we talked about there having to be a change in the way the game industry is doing this stuff because this kind of stuff's happening. But here we have an example of, they just clearly broke existing laws. Yeah,
they did.
We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to follow this.
I'm seeing some kind of grumblings about another studio picking up The Walking Dead, or Netflix is still going to move ahead with Stranger Things. So, I mean, they're still going to be around. I assumed when this happened that there would be an outrage and the game would come out somehow. But then there's also a subset of people that are like, if they really loved it, they would do it for free. For the fans.
Yeah,
and it's like guys, they can't
that's...
do this for free.
Yeah,
they cannot.
I'm wearing my headphones. It's really loud. Oh my God. But yeah, it's the grumblings that we heard about Walking Dead was actually from Telltale themselves. They said that they wanted to try to get the final episodes made. They're planning on getting the final episodes made and released, which is a big freaking deal because when we left this last week, we had just discovered that was being canceled. So I'm glad to hear that that is going. Somebody's going to be, I guess, picking it up to work on it. I mean, it won't be Telltale, of course, obviously. Right. Or at least maybe it'll be on Telltale, but be under somebody else's banner, I'm sure. Right. I'm just hoping they use the same team and they don't hand it off to different people to finish those last episodes because that could just ruin the whole damn thing.
It would.
It would also kind of be a disgrace to the people that have been working on it this whole time.
True.
But when we hear more about that, we'll talk about it. Okay, so this next one's kind of fun.
There's nothing fun about this.
Remember Dunkin' Donuts? Remember Dunkin' Donuts? Remember? Well, Dunkin' Donuts isn't going to be Dunkin' Donuts anymore. Now it's just going to be Dunkin'.
Dunkin' what? You need a donut to dunk.
Dunkin'.
You can't be Dunkin' nothing.
Dunkin'.
Well, tell them why they're changing it.
They're changing it because they don't want to be known for donuts anymore. They want to be known for beverages, specifically coffee and other beverages.
You know what? I will say I like their coffee better.
Well, that's the thing. My first
Starbucks, I think.
Might initially get better than Starbucks.
If I want to be, if I want to be awake, I go to Starbucks. If I want to get a coffee to enjoy,
you think so?
Just to if I just want it would be nice to go get like a cup of coffee or something. Then I want Dunkin'. If I'm going to be tired all day or whatever, I'm going to Starbucks and I'm getting a thick boy. Really.
I don't really like. I don't like how sweet Dunkin' Donuts makes their coffee.
It is. I always get unsweetened stuff.
Yeah. Every time, I got their.
Oh, you got something crazy.
The pumpkin spice coffee.
Spice,
and I got it, and it just was ridiculous pumpkin taste. And I went to Starbucks, and it was much more
They have a very good pumpkin
palatable,
spice, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But we're not talking about Starbucks.
I know.
And my initial reaction to this was freaking. I don't know. It was like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? Dunkin' Donuts has always been donuts. But then I'm realizing that's just me knowing what it was before and being weird about it. Because when I think about it, we were looking at a stat. I don't know if it's in here or not. But there was a statistic that was somewhere around 60% of their sales did not include donuts.
Yeah.
So donuts aren't even what people get most of the time. And that made me think that anytime I went to Dunkin' Donuts, it was pretty much always to get coffee.
Right. And the donut was
maybe a donut. Sometimes I would throw a donut in there too, but I would get coffee and a sandwich or something because we'd be on our way somewhere in the morning.
Right.
And I'm going to go get coffee and a ham and cheese or a croissant sandwich.
This is what I was going to say, what just surprised me here. They also cut 10% of their menu, including the smoothies, the big and toasted. That's his jam.
I like the big and toasted. Although we haven't been to Dunkin' Donuts in so long. And the ham and cheddar. What the hell?
You just said,
you guys are screwing me.
Oh, man. I know you like that big and toasted.
I did like the big and toasted.
Which is my stupid.
All right.
But I think it makes me think that there's not donuts in there. And you know how if you've seen our...
They want to be known for donuts.
Yeah, well, if you see our Dunkin' Donuts vlogs, all the Dunkin' Donuts around us that we've been to, except for this recent one, they always like the donuts are old or whatever.
Yeah, they're not
because nobody's
good
buying
donuts.
them.
Yeah.
They're probably like making less or shipping less or whatever it is. They're stale. Yeah, and they're really like disappointing. I wish we had a Krispy Kreme around here.
Yes, Krispy
That would
Kreme is
be
good.
amazing. I know they're not around
really
here,
good.
you know, but
They were for a hot minute.
they were, and then they left.
And then they left.
I know. But now they're just coffee. What do you guys think about that? When you go to Dunkin' Donuts, do you go for the donuts or do you go for the coffee? But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I do like their coffee better though. I really do. Oh my God, you see this? Did you see this? A seal slapped a kayaker in the face with an octopus. Look.
That was crazy! What?
We were just trying
to shoot cute seals. I know it's not what he meant, but it's funny.
But ended up being very brutal.
Underwater?
Apparently he tried to chew one leg of octopus. That's why he swam really hard. But my friend Kyle wasn't in the right place at the right time.
Look at that.
Oof.
Is he in the hospital?
I know, he got slapped hard with an octopus.
Real confused all the time.
Oh.
He tried to act cool on the camera. He was like roaring. We knew that he was
Yeah,
so
that's the reaction I would have if I got slapped in the face with an octopus.
By a dolphin. By a seal, rather.
Surprised, for sure.
Oh my God. I didn't see this part. Oh, look,
He's actually holding my boat. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that would freak me out. Oh my God. That would freak me out.
That's crazy. That's
I think
crazy.
that would freak me out.
You think so?
If an octopus was climbing up your kayak
Yeah.
and you were out in the middle of the ocean,
Yeah.
there's just something about an octopus. And you know what? I saw this on Reddit and the top comment said that he got sucker punched. Someone said you got beat up by an appetizer.
Oh my God.
But like,
Appetizer?
I don't even know how I would react if that. Do you mind? I just want to see that one more time. Oh, that is so disgusting. That is so disgusting. I would feel like I needed to take like the biggest shower.
It had to hurt.
You think that hurt? Yeah?
Yeah, octopuses aren't light. They're heavy. They're waterlogged. I mean, that was like probably like getting hit with like, I don't know, what it would be getting hit with.
I don't know.
Like
Maybe like a
big
wet towel
like
or
a really
something
long
like that.
sandwich.
Really long sandwich. Okay.
Really long sandwich is awesome.
In the comments on Reddit where I saw this, a marine biologist weighed in. Someone said, "Why did they do this? Why did this happen?" And oh my God, I don't even have the crotch on burpee. Hold on a second. We had honey grove for dinner. Oh my God, it's like a chipotle of stir fry. It's like a make your own stir fry. It's amazing. So I'm very full. Anyway. But this marine biologist said that they think it was like a territorial type thing. And it was like they were playing, but also kind of being a little aggressive at the same time.
Okay.
You know, like when animals kind of do that and it's like a little, and you're getting a little wound up. Like we got to calm down.
So you just hit him with a
thing.
seal. So
Yeah,
like the seal
with an octopus.
intentionally hit him with an octopus.
Yeah, it was intentional.
Like if he
That's
picked
what
up
this
the
person
octopus,
said.
ran over to him, I'm like, I'm going to hit him with this octopus.
Yep.
That's kind of amazing.
Yep, decided to just whack this dude with an octopus.
I kind of like that. Back.
Okay, so are you guys watching the Shane Dawson documentary on Jake Paul? As of right now, the first 2 episodes are out. We have seen both of them. I'm kind of assuming that everybody has, heard about it or seen it at this point.
The first episode had over 11 million views when we last saw it a couple days ago. So
oh my God, it was ticking up so fast.
A couple days ago by now being Thursday pretty much. So.
Right. But he investigates Jake Paul and looks into whether or not he may possibly be a psychopath. And like the last
or
episode,
sociopath.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, a sociopath. Ugh, out of all the things, I know. But he talked to a therapist in the last episode, and she described what it is to be a sociopath, how they live, how they, look at the world, how they look at other people, how they have relationships.
It was interesting for me to watch too, because I've had this conversation with Lissy already. She told me all of this stuff, so I'm watching it, and she's just saying the same stuff again, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. It's like when I was
and I'm there brushing my teeth, like smacking my thigh,
yeah,
I just said that.
I knew that.
I knew that. But it's while I was watching yesterday, in particular, the one that just aired, episode 2. I was starting to worry that he was giving out information to people who might not know what to do with it. So I'm thinking there's probably a lot of Jake Paul fans that are watching this, and some of them are young, and I'm nervous to have them have some information about sociopaths, and then use it to diagnose a friend. Or, hey, a light bulb might go off and they could be right, and they could say, that's my brother, that's my mom, that's my friend, that's my boyfriend, my girlfriend, But, so in that regard, it's good, but I'm nervous that it's putting a little bit of a stigma on people with sociopathy, and they have all kinds of things.
It's definitely
going on.
putting a stigma on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such like a played up negative, strongly negative.
Right, like
light.
they're evil.
Yeah.
And these
they're
people,
ill.
They're ill.
Ill
yeah.
doesn't mean evil.
Right. Right.
It's,
But the thing is, they could be tricky to deal with, to have a relationship with. They're capable of holding relationships and all that kind of stuff. But I'm nervous that people will, if somebody says, like, if I was the psychopath, say, and I was trying, I suppose, to live my life in a good way, and then this comes out, and it comes out that I'm a sociopath, I'm worried that people will look down on sociopaths after this, when they really are ill, and it's not their fault.
It's just having a complete lack of empathy has consequences, and it results in other kind of behaviors that won't make sense to anybody that has empathy,
right.
And vice versa. So it's like that's kind of the way it works. You're talking to somebody who's just not on the same plane of existence as you are.
Yeah.
You're like nowhere. But they are, like you've mentioned before, they are unpredictable. They can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Because of their lack of empathy,
right?
But that doesn't make them evil,
right?
It's and it was definitely portrayed. We like Shane Dawson a lot. We watch his stuff, and he always plays his stuff up. He makes a narrative, he makes it, he gets it engaging and entertaining and stuff, But and on this, the way he did it, as we're watching it, I remember Lisa kind of being like, I don't know, like this might be a little weird. And you've also mentioned before that, like she brings out the DSM-5, right?
Right.
And she's reading that. When she's reading that, she's reading off like the symptoms and like the things that are identifiers as sociopaths.
Right.
And Lissy also mentioned to me that if you're a psychology student, don't they wait until you're like, they wait for a while before they even give you the DSM?
Yeah, I didn't get it until my junior year in
You're supposed to have studied for a little bit.
Yeah, because
to have some sort of background before they give that to you.
Yeah, it's a very, it's kind of like, it could be a very dangerous book. Because you could see it's the diagnostic.
Kind of like WebMD for mental illnesses,
it's the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. 5th edition. There's been 5 so far. I don't know when the 6th is going to come out. I actually think it's going to come out in the next couple years. But it's every mental disorder listed, symptoms, treatment, how to treat, things to look for, things to work towards, goals, things like that to look for. But that shouldn't be like the layman shouldn't be going by that. You know what? Reading it is a trip. Like the first time I got it, I sat down and it's like this thick.
Yeah,
and
it's huge.
I went like cover
to
cover.
Encyclopedia.
And you're like, oh my gosh, like I bet that person is that, or that person is that. And just that process of piecing together people is dangerous and gives you a bias. So you have to really remove your bias, and just keep things surface level and just work with what you have in front of you and what you have personally observed, But I feel like it could really, in the wrong hands, go poorly. And that's why, while we were going to talk about this exact subject, and I Googled it to see what was going on here, and this popped up, and it turns out he apologized over the exact issue that I was talking about. So I didn't see this. He said, I'm sorry if I offended anybody. If you're offended for someone who has this or thinks they have this, I am sorry, but just know my intentions were not bad. I don't believe that for a second. Yeah. My intentions were to make something interesting, to show a side of personality disorders that nobody talks about because they're too afraid to. It's something that people don't talk about.
It was clear that he was doing that too.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about it. I personally connected to it for so many reasons that I haven't even talked about. And if you've seen the episode, they mention that 1 in 25 people is a sociopath. So yeah. I guarantee you have met someone
quite interesting
or you know
about,
somebody.
Right?
And I mean, we could talk about it further if you guys wanted in one of the streams, but it's like a light bulb moment. You had it, you went, I bet.
Yeah.
This person.
Because you think about I
think everybody has
a lot of people have more than 25 people in their family.
Yeah.
You know, so like a lot of people in their families might have one.
Right.
And like, you know, people you've come across within school or work, you've almost certainly come across one at some point, whether or not you realized it.
Right.
And it wasn't, I want to be clear that it wasn't the way that Shane was portraying it in the video, in the actual interview, in the discussion.
Yeah.
He wasn't portraying it as a negative thing. He was recognizing it as a dangerous thing.
Yeah. But interesting and eerie.
Interesting and eerie, not negative, not evil. Certainly not evil. It was really the editing which played it up.
Yeah.
This music, this and like showing faces and things going crazy, and it was kind of like
dolls stabbing dolls,
dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria, that kind of thing. But it came off a little weird in execution.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like the meat of it, like the actual discussion around it, really came off like that. Like if you took away the music and just had them talking to each other, I don't think you would come away with that impression.
No, I don't either. But I get why he did that, because if any of you have ever known a sociopath or met a sociopath, it is a very uneasy feeling. Almost like there's like a ghost in the room, or like you're in the presence of like an evil or something. It's crazy. It is. In the video, she says it's a feeling. And I was like, yes, it is a feeling. It's a deadness behind their eyes. It's a stare. It's kind of like a looking at you, not like through you, at you, not to you. Do you know what I mean? And it's really like, ugh. Yeah, I've dealt with between about 10, 15 of them. I remember each one of them in crazy detail because it's haunting. So I get why he took that angle. But again, these are people with an illness that is not of their own doing. Although, I wonder if he's going to point this out at some point, because there have been some studies in the past years, I want to say about past 5 years, that said there's an increase, or there's a great chance of being a sociopath, it's antisocial personality disorder, of having it from shaken baby syndrome, which is, you know, if you have an angry parent and they shake the baby. So, and when we had our baby, they went, like, if you think you're getting angry, you put the baby down, you call somebody. Yeah. Like, really, the doctors, everybody were like, don't shake the baby,
very,
you know.
Very careful about that.
Very careful, yeah. So that can cause, there's a higher chance of having antisocial personality disorder with shaken baby syndrome. So I hope they look more into that a little bit, because I wonder with Jake Paul, and like if there's violence in his background, I'm nervous. I'm wondering what's going on with his parents, his dad, you know. So I think this is all really interesting. I was really worried about how they were framing antisocial personality.
Although the person he was talking to seemed very knowledgeable.
Yeah, she was very knowledgeable. Yeah, absolutely. I was just so nervous about somebody having that kind of information and misdiagnosing somebody and causing a stigma of some kind.
Although it is interesting because this is all ultimately about how it does or does not pertain to Jake Paul, right? I mean, they took a little stop, like, let's talk about sociopaths for a little bit.
Right.
But they didn't really, at the end of the day, it all came down to, well, this one guy, we're wondering if he may or may not be. And we also had to be careful that you can't diagnose somebody remotely, like through a TV, through, you know, I mean, you can see the signs and the markers of it, but you can't make a diagnosis, obviously.
Oh, go ahead.
But it was interesting in that, like, the way, at least what he's chosen to show us up to this point, and I'm sure it's calculated, kind of you start to wonder, and I'm sure that's what's the idea, right? That's why he's crafting a narrative. He's very good at storytelling,
right?
So he's kind of got you there, and it's really interesting. I'm very curious to see where he goes from
here. Especially because we haven't talked to Jake Paul yet, and part of how you diagnose the sociopath, you can't speak to them because they will lie to you, and they will tell you what you want to hear and everything. So they are pretty much not kind of useless in diagnosing them with their own information.
Any direct contact?
Any direct contact. So you have to talk to their family, their friends, their coworkers, all that kind of stuff to get a picture before you talk to them, and then go in there with that knowledge. So that may be what he's doing.
It seems to be what he's doing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Well, he can't diagnose him either. I mean, I guess he's probably coming to a conclusion at some point, but it's gonna be interesting. I don't know.
Interesting stuff.
By the way, sociopaths have no remorse for anything. And speaking about people with no remorse, we have Bill Cosby, who actually got sentenced. And this is interesting because I got sentenced right out of a courthouse we used to live very close to, which is really kind of weird. And I lived for most of my life. But 3 to 10 years in prison. He wasn't given bail.
He went right away.
He went right in. They sentenced him and took him straight in. The judge had deemed him a sexually violent predator.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't give him bail. I know he wanted house arrest, and he wanted appeal time. He wanted to be able to appeal and be at home during that. And they're like, nope, you're going to jail. So he's in jail right now.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, he's an old guy, but
81,
but got away with some stuff for a long period of time.
You guys.
And just didn't get away with it eventually, Eventually caught up with them.
You know what's so strange about this? And if I know there's some of you out there who didn't grow up with Bill Cosby or grow up with the Cosby Show. It was a little bit before my time. Just a little bit.
Just slightly.
Slightly.
Some of the first stand-up comedy that I fell in love with, though, was him.
Oh, really?
It was the Bill Cosby himself.
Oh, okay.
Where he did the whole Noah thing, which was funny, Noah arguing with God, and it was funny.
Oh, yeah. See, I have no
idea. It was pretty funny. I mean, it was very, very wholesome.
Oh, right.
Of
course.
Bill Cosby was very wholesome. But I at least had that. I was I really liked Bill Cosby.
Yeah, he was very parental. He was very you need to respect yourself and speak right and pull up your pants and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah,
he eventually ended up being decided he had to go put himself up on a moral pedestal real high.
He did.
And, which is, what makes this even more interesting, right? Because this entire time he was far from a moral person.
Right.
So
and showing no remorse, which I find disgusting.
Maybe he's a sociopath.
Yeah, I know, possibly. But they said he was laughing out to the car. He's joking around. He thinks he is fine.
He thinks he's fine. And it's what's crazy about this.
Right out.
You talk about hearsay, he said, she said, right?
Right.
But there are over 50 people that have come forward saying that he has done this to them, that he has drugged and raped them. Okay, so if only 10% of the people that accuse him are correct, that's way too many people to drug and rape. So it doesn't even. I mean,
I know.
it's and they all have the same consistent story. I don't know. We've been over this before. I don't know if we've been over this, but as a culture, we've been over this. I think most of us have gotten to the point where we come on the side this pretty much this happened. Obviously, he's been convicted, so. A jury thought he is pretty sure he did it.
Right.
A judge is pretty sure he's a sexually violent predator. So I hate to say it, he's an old guy. He's kind of blind. He's going blind.
I think he's
and it's really sad in a way that he's going to prison. But it's you know what? I don't care if you're old. I mean, you still don't get to rape people.
Oh my God, with little suspended.
Yeah, it's there's a sad side to it, right?
I guess so.
I mean, it's more
$25,000 plus cost of prostitution.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't see if any of it is sad. But.
Yeah. I don't. It's sad. I'm sad for us.
Yeah.
That we grew up with this. And he was on the board at my school and all kinds of stuff. So he's really entrenched in Philly
in the Philly area.
Whatnot.
Yeah, he's a big deal in Philly.
There's a lot of murals and things of him and a lot of buildings and whatnot that they've all been painted over.
Yeah.
So it's just seeing this fall has been crazy. So hopefully we could
maybe we can move
close
on
that
now.
book and put it on the shelf. And
he got caught. He's getting punished. So all that stuff that happened. He's finally getting something for it.
Right.
But there's the but coming.
His first dinner in jail, he got pudding! They gave him Jell-O pudding! Oh my God! If you don't know what I'm talking about,
Poetic.
Jello. He was their spokesperson for years. He did all the Jello commercials, Jello pudding and Jello pudding pops and the Jiggle Star and.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
those
You get, like,
commercials
this-
were on all the time when we were kids.
Yeah, all the time, all the time. And he got Jello pudding. I love that. I was like, oh, they gave Jello. Okay, it's time for the subreddit of the week. And this week is what's wrong with your dog?
What's wrong with your dog?
What's wrong with your dog?
For
example.
I love when the subreddits get like so specific.
Yeah,
You know?
because everybody has an animal that does really weird things.
Yeah.
In this case, it's your dog.
Okay.
We have 3 expensive beds, but prefers this one goddamn brick.
What's wrong with your dog?
He's comfy. Yeah, what's wrong with you? Yeah, you feel like you have to say it.
You have to say it right afterwards every time.
What is this? That weird trio. Oh. Oh!
Just, what are you even doing? How?
Wait, look at their little licks. They're like coordinated.
I know, we all did it at the same
What are
time.
they doing? Anything they're so open.
One of them, it's going back. One of them does it, the rest of them have to do it. It's like an
It
itch.
goes like din din din. Bloop, bloop. I like them.
It's like somebody yawned. They also go.
Wrong with you? I like this one. Where's my food?
Dude, what's wrong with your dog? He's standing up. He's giving me this look.
It's that stare.
That dog is mad.
Yeah, right.
That dog, he's gonna sock you in the face.
Look
He's
at
gonna
this.
pull a right hook.
It looks like he's making little like meat hooks.
I know, he's
like-
angry. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
we're gonna
is.
go right now, man. We're gonna go.
There was one more. Oh, I like this one. Sudden urge to dig. Yeah!
I love that dog reaction. Just the whole like.
Gusto. Yeah. I'm gonna dig in this hole. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
what
love
they
the
doing? Oh,
puppers.
digging. That's right.
What's prepping for bath time? Oh my God. I love when dogs do this. You're gonna lower him in real slow. And look at how low his head is and his ears are all flat. I love when they do that. Oh my God.
I'm doing
I'm
it.
so excited. I love when they do that. Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite things in the world.
It's just warm up. It's like, gotta get warmed
Oh
up. It's like
my
you're stretching
gosh.
beforehand. Like, I'm gonna do some swimming. Come on,
Yeah,
man. Shake it
right.
out, shake it out. Get ready.
Gotta practice.
I got my pre-workout shake.
What's dandelion? Oh no.
Oh, wow.
my God.
At first I thought it was a weird camera filter. And I realized, oh my God, no,
did you
half
get
of him is
that out?
bright yellow. Is it gonna have to grow out?
I don't know. That stuff stains. I
Yes,
remember
it
that
does.
from being little.
Remember being on your jeans?
Oh my gosh,
Just yellow,
yes.
yellow spots on your jeans?
Yes, it was
Totally.
like yellow like smears along
Yep.
with the dirt and wow, I haven't thought about that in a long
Yeah,
time.
me neither. Just gotta remember.
Yeah, I remember getting dandelion
Wow.
stains on my
yeah,
jeans.
that's, wow.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
dude.
Let me do one more. One must become the squirrel. To catch the squirrel, one must become the squirrel. Yes, I will climb on top of this this tree.
How the hell did he get up there and sit like,
Maybe he's trying to be tall and skinny, like what he's standing on, you know?
maybe he is.
I like it. Well, that's what's wrong with your dog.
All right. I have been so psyched about this. I'm a big Flyers fan, if you guys don't know that. Obviously, we're from the Philly area. You see me wear hats and stuff sometimes. But I love the Flyers, and they have a new mascot. They haven't had a mascot for, I mean, as long as I can remember. I don't know if they've ever had one before.
I don't think so.
So they decided to have a mascot, and they have Gritty. Gritty is their mascot. And I don't know, the whole freaking internet hated this dude on the first day, okay? And then all of a sudden he's on Tonight Show.
No.
He's on Late Night.
I don't care.
He's like, he's getting past, other team. I've seen fans from other teams be like, I wasn't a Flyers fan until now. All of a sudden this dude is catching on.
No.
And I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I like it. Everyone's like, he's creepy, he's weird, and he's kind of awkward and strange. And I like everything about that because the Flyers are supposed to have this Broad Street Bullies thing, right?
No.
So I think that guy's got to be a little bit unnerving. And he has. I've been sharing his gifts like crazy. I don't know. I like it.
am more than unnerved.
Look, he's got a profile.
At Gritty. No, I don't like that he has googly eyes. I thought his helmet was a bowler hat. It is not. This insinuates that he has ears. Where and what are his ears? He looks like the Babadook. I hate
I like
everything.
the googly eyes. Googly eyes is great.
I hate everything. And you and a whole handful of you have a whole handful.
A whole handful.
Have been sending me Gritty gifts scaring the bejesus
The
out of
gritty
me.
gifts are starting to show up. They're everywhere
Oh my
now.
God. For example, so somebody, of course,
I haven't looked at this yet. I looked at the first image and knew we wanted to wait until BS on the internet for this. But somebody started putting gritty in stock images, in the background of a bunch of stock
I
images.
hate it.
I want to see these. So
Yep.
that first one already,
All
that
right.
kid. Oh my God.
See? This is why. See? This is why I don't like him.
This is why I do. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I guess that was it. That's as many as there were. But oh my God, that's
I hate it. No, I don't like him.
Yeah,
And you know what? Some people were saying, maybe he needs to be like, what kind of personality should he have? And from what we've seen on social media, he is kind of gritty. He's very like, he's like snappy and sassy and that kind of
That's
thing.
the thing.
So I think Philly will like that. But I mean, like who?
Yeah, I wanted him to be like, not just like a goofy, like, I'm a mascot. Like, I wanted him to make smart ass comments on the internet. Okay. And like, there was he had a, I saw a Twitter post earlier. He dumped the Rangers were visiting, okay, and he goes to some Rangers fans and dumps popcorn on them, does the mascot thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And the mascot from the LA Kings, and it wasn't the LA Kings they were playing, tweeted it and replied, said, "You call that a popcorn dump?" Like he's calling them out. So he replied and said, "Yeah, they were salty almost as much as you are." It was like, oh, a little bit good. And then he told the Penguins mascot that he better keep his eyes open at night because he was going to kill him, basically. He threatened to kill him.
One eye
Sleep
open.
with one eye open, bird. And he had the gif that was like this slow turn. It's really creepy and it's great. I don't know. I like him. I'm happy.
Freaks me out.
I like that he's here. I like these team's mascot, and I like these on the internet. I'm happy he's here. I think the world is better now that Grady is in it. Lissy does not agree with me. Lissy does not like Grady. Lissy is not on Team Grady.
I think are these eyebrows or eyelashes? What is this? I have too many questions. Too many questions. I don't want to know. I just,
We see the recent construction at the Wells Fargo Center disturbed his secret hideout.
Oh, well, there you go.
There it is. And lastly, got some good gaming news. I consider this very good gaming news. So, a lot of people, you may or may not be familiar with, a lot of games are starting to play cross-platform, right?
Yeah.
Like Xbox can play with PC, can play with Switch, and that's kind of happening. But that PS4 has been the one outlier there. They don't want to let anybody else into their ecosystem for the multiplayer servers. And for big multiplayer cross-platform games, that's always been a big limiting factor, right? Because those games are better the larger the population. And they're always driven by that. So you have this huge population of PS4 players, and you could combine it with a huge population of PC and Xbox and so on. And they never gave. They never could go through with it. And finally, Fortnite seems to have been the one game. It's popular enough. It's making enough freaking money that they finally convinced them to change this policy, which is a pretty big deal. I know it became a really big sticky point when the Fortnite came out for Switch.
Yeah.
Myself included, I went to go log in with my Epic account to play Fortnite on it, and it didn't let me just because I had played it on PS4 before. That's it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I wasn't able to log into it on Switch, can't log into it on Xbox.
Okay.
I had to create another one. So I made like Bowling Alley Switch or something like that, or SW Bowling Alley or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to go, I should have said Bowling Alley 2. That would have been easier, huh?
There you go.
But so I didn't end up playing it much at all, right? Because I already had like skins and stuff and on the other one, and I wanted to do the challenges and get some progression going. So I felt like I was wasting my time if I had a PS4 there. And now that's changing. There's a beta out right now for Fortnite specifically that you can cross-platform with everything: PlayStation 4, Android, iOS, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Microsoft Windows, and Mac. That's a huge population of players, and if more games do that, that's excellent. I mean, not all games are going to be on Android and iOS, right?
Sure.
It's very unusual for a game as fleshed out as Fortnite to have figured that out.
Yeah.
But now you think Call of Duty Black Ops coming out, right?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe that's going to be cross-platform now with everybody.
Oh my God, that would be huge.
So, there's a spokesman for Sony that basically said that they do expect, after they prove the concept of the Fortnite, that other games are going to jump on this. So I think this is a awesome big thing. It really, Fortnite was just a tool. It's not really about Fortnite.
Yeah.
I think this is a big change, sea change for PS4.
They lit the fire.
And for the consoles in general and the gaming in general, because you're always going to have your exclusives, right? But the cross-platform games, we may be seeing the end of exclusive populations on them, and that would be awesome. I would love to see that. That would mean a lot of things for a lot of different games, I think.
Yeah.
Across the whole industry. Whole industry. All right, guys, that was this episode of BS on the Internet.
Yes, it was.
If you want to learn anything more about anything we talked about, links are in the description.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And don't forget, we got new shirts.
We do.
Links are in the description for that too.
I'm excited for you guys to see those.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Hope you like them.
I'm
Let us know.
so excited.
And if you like this video, please support us on Patreon. Click like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.